Do you know that you need to eat well more consistently in order to support your weight loss goal? Are you wondering whether or not you have to become one of those meal prep girls in order to get it done? Well, you might be surprised at my answer. If you've been thinking of any of these questions, I want you to stick around for this video because I'm going to be pulling back the curtain on why I do not like traditional meal prep and what I do instead. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Concita Thomas. I'm a food and fitness strategist, and I help women over 40 lose 30 plus pounds and keep it off without diets, without excessive exercise, and you guessed it, without traditional meal prep. Now, I have a long history with traditional meal prep. As I mentioned, I help women over 40 lose and keep 30 plus pounds off, and that's a result that I was able to get for myself, and I've helped several other women get, and it wasn't always that way. Part of my journey, I won't rehash the whole story, but you can always listen to episode 1 of my podcast to hear it if you'd like. But part of my journey was a foray into bodybuilding, not so much because I was passionate about the sport, but because I was trying to figure out a way to get wiggle room, to lose enough weight that I could hopefully eat like a normal person and not just blow up. But that didn't work out. Again, you'd have to listen to the episode for the entire backstory. And it's part of becoming a bodybuilder and living that lifestyle for several years. I was definitely a meal prep girl, someone who would spend parts of her weekends getting those Tupperwares together, portioning out those meals so that I'd have them ready to heat and eat for the week. And even though I had that history and it absolutely did get me stage ready every single time, I sit here today as a wellness professional, 20-year veteran in this industry, over 45 years old, and someone who does not meal prep. Actually, I don't like it at all, and I don't even know that it is the best thing for most people, and I'm going to explain to you the 3 reasons why it's not something that I advocate anymore. All right, so the first reason why I'm not a fan of traditional meal prep is because it is very time consuming. You heard me mention that I would spend my weekends getting my meals together, and I literally mean that. I would go shopping on Saturday, and then Sunday I would need to dedicate a block of time, about 3 to 6 hours, just depending upon how many different types of meals I was making, cooking, portioning, weighing, measuring, storing in Tupperware, doing dishes. Oh my gosh, the dishes that come with meal prep. And that was what Sunday looked like. It was dedicated to getting the food ready for the week. I know that many would argue that 6 hours is a small price to pay to lose weight, to keep it off, to improve your health, etc. And I would agree if there were not another way to do it, and if most people were willing and able to execute that consistently without infringing upon their life. And I will tell you, it was definitely an infringement. Even at that time, I was not even a mom yet. I was newly married. There was only myself and my husband. However, at this point in life, I can't even imagine what it would look like to sink an entire Sunday into meal prepping. And again, there is a better way. And part of the better way is understanding what needs to go in each meal. Because, fun fact, when you understand what needs to go in each meal and how to build figure-friendly meals, you can do that anywhere, and you don't have to have little Tupperwares in the refrigerator for you to pull out to heat and eat. If you don't already know what I mean when I say a figure-friendly meal and how to spot those anywhere, then I encourage you to download a currently free resource. It's called the Figure Friendly Meal Checklist. It comes along with a video training, and I will go ahead and link that in the description. And I would also invite you to check out my video that I did recently, here, there, or somewhere, I don't know where it's going to be placed, about how I spot figure-friendly meals anywhere. And so actually knowing what goes in a figure-friendly meal and how to spot and order them anywhere is one way that you can free yourself from this obligation to trade in your Sunday as a way to eat well. All right, I think I've said enough about how time-consuming traditional meal prep is and the fact that you don't have to make that trade-off. So let's move on to reason number 2 why I do not like traditional meal prep. All right, reason number 2, and this may seem obvious, but I feel like some people miss this, is traditional meal prep requires that you eat food that was prepared days and days ago. And while the chicken or the meatloaf or the fish may have been delicious on the day that you cooked it, quite frankly, warming up tilapia on a Thursday that was cooked on a sunny Sunday afternoon is no longer appealing to me as a 40 plus year old, and for most of my clients, it's not appealing to them. Again, I totally admit that that was something that I was willing to do in my 20s and 30s in order to look a particular way, and especially because I didn't know any other way to get it done. But now that I know so many other ways to consistently get the meals that I need when I need them without infringing upon my lifestyle, warming up cold tilapia is just not that appealing anymore. All right, I've got more where that came from, but I'm curious to know your thoughts. Do you meal prep or not? Let me know in the comments. Number 3, third reason why I do not like traditional meal prep is because it makes no room for spontaneity. Now, when I was in my 20s and 30s and I was living a bodybuilding lifestyle, I didn't necessarily see this as a problem because, again, I was just like, I was really deep into that culture. However, I have witnessed people who will buy these meal prep kits, or they will meal prep or even spend money to have meal preps that someone else cooked delivered to them. And then at the end of the week, they find that they're throwing them out. Why? Because what sounded good when they placed the order online or when they made the meals on Sunday no longer sounds good on Thursday, and or they don't live in a silo, they don't live in a little bubble. They are married, they have kids, or maybe they're in community in some other way. So maybe they have meals prepped for the entire week, but they find themselves going out and dining outside of the home 2 or 3 nights. So then that time was wasted and that money was wasted and that food was wasted as well. So those were the 3 reasons why I really do not advocate for traditional meal prep. Again, it's time consuming. You have to eat food that was cooked days and days ago. And then also there's no room for spontaneity. And what I do instead is I do what I call meal prep light. So in addition to knowing what goes in a meal, being able to spot it anywhere, I have a system where I cook certain essentials that I can mix and remix any way during the week to have the meals that I need in my home. And I invite you, after this video is done, to go to that video, which is going to be here, or somewhere, and check that one out too, because I really think it will open your eyes as to how you can solve the problem at hand, having healthy food easily available when you need it so that you can be consistent without falling, I'll just call it falling victim to a traditional meal prep. So that's all I have for you, friend. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell so that you're notified when I post more videos. Also, if you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on all things sustainable weight loss, food, fitness, and lifestyle related, go check out my podcast, The Fierce Life with Concita Thomas. Anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, I'll link it below. There are over 100 episodes recorded there that you can enjoy. If you'd like to see how I pull this off, the behind the scenes in my own life, I invite you to connect with me over on Instagram. I always say you can get my advice on my feed and you can get the behind the scenes in my stories. I'm there nearly daily in my feed and in my stories. And then finally, if you like this advice and you're like, this is good, this is great information, and I'm more of a done with me type of girl, I want someone holding my hand, holding me accountable, supporting me through the process of implementing this so that I can be one of those women over 40 that you help to lose 30 plus pounds and keep it off without diets, excessive exercise, or even meal prep, then I invite you to check out my signature program. It's called Get It Off, Keep It Off One-on-One Coaching. And that will also be linked below. You can go check out the program page, get the details. If it seems like a fit, go ahead and apply. Book your application call. I am excited to talk to you if that is a fit for you. That's all I have today, fierce friend. Until next time, stay fierce.